Welcome to the Epic Gaming Night Podcast, a podcast about the stories and relationships board games create. I'm your host, Roy Canny, and with me, as always, is Rob's Chair. What's going on, Rob's Chair? Rob stepped out for half a second to grab his coffee, because you know you gotta have the coffee. And Rob!
Hello. Sorry about that. Sorry.
That was awesome.
Oh man, did you guys like see me coming down the stairs or something?
I introduced your chair at first, so hey, we're good.
How is my chair doing, by the way?
It's looking great. I mean, it's not looking half as good without you in it. I'm just saying.
Right?
But it's not too bad.
But still not bad.
Hey man, how's things been going?
I got to play a board game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I'm
an
super
awesome
excited
board
to hear
game at
about
that.
Well, today we're going to be talking about upcoming games and upcoming cons and upcoming things. And, you know, we're really just here to hang out with you guys and have fun. So, hey, we're going to have a podcast. But we can talk a little bit about news type things.
Yes.
There was a game that Rob saw on Kickstarter, and I just took a glance at it. It looks super interesting. Were you able to, like, look at a lot, or do you know much about it?
Nope. I need to look at it real quick. It was one of those things where it's the same group that did Solomon Kane. That's what it is.
Solomon Kane. Yeah, it looks like
Solomon Kane.
Is that like witch hunty type stuff?
Yes.
Or yeah. So it looks
It's the
super
same group of people that did legendary Joan of Arc, the game that's coming out. Mythic Games just launched today, and it's already at 400% of its goal.
That's crazy. Yeah, it has pretty cool.
But the reason why I wanted you to look at it is because I've really enjoyed the way that Mythic Games has been doing their work in progress Wednesdays. Every Wednesday they send out an email. Even if it's a small email, they send out something saying, hey, here's the game, here's what's going on.
Just really good communication.
Yeah, a lot of communication. And as a consumer, I really appreciate that. And so I was just seeing that, and then I got the email today, even though it's not Wednesday. I got an email today saying, hey, our Kickstarter just went live. And so far, I am nothing but excited for... are we on episode 150? No, we're not. Sorry. No, I am excited for Joan of Arc, and so I thought I would just check it out. Guys, I'm good at multitasking when I'm prepared to multitask, but I wasn't prepared just yet. So please excuse my tongue and all the brain farts and stuff like that. But anyway. So yeah, it is one of those games where you are traveling around, and it's a bunch of hand management and deck management and resource management, and also comes with some really cool minis and stuff like that. But you are traveling around, and it's the end of the 16th century, and you are on like this righteous, crusade to exile all darkness.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And there's an opponent that's trying to thwart you, and your hero along the way. And
is it cooperative or it's competitive with the other players?
I think it's a co-op game. Boom. How about I read this? This tells that good must triumph over evil. It is the virtues to ensure that he is the light. The central figure is Solomon Kane himself. I don't know, the art and everything looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything so far if it's a co-op or anything. But it comes with a bunch of cards. Everything looks really pretty. And I really don't know a lot about the game, like I was saying earlier. I'm just really impressed with the company so far.
Right.
I apologize about not knowing more about the game, guys. I'll try to know more by next time. Crazy day. Ran upstairs to grab my coffee to come do the show.
And it just launched today. It looks
Bring
cool.
the chair back? Oh, come on, Ian. I'm not so bad.
The chair knows more about this Kickstarter. No, but yeah, if you're into that whole witch hunt looking theme or whatever, rid the darkness theme, and you want some minis for that sort of thing, then check that out.
Well, and also if you like a company that seems to do pretty well with Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Now, I've not received a Mythic game yet.
Have they said anything about delays or anything for the game, or is Joan of Arc
No, everything
still,
is like moving on schedule.
That's awesome.
Now, even if it's delayed by like a month or two, I'll still be happy.
Yeah, because the communication's there, and they'll let you know. You're not gonna be, I mean, not to name any names, but there's been games where it's been like, the game's supposed to already be out, and we're just hearing crickets.
The Walking Dead No Sanctuary was,
just
I believe, close to a year late.
No news. And I mean, if you're gonna be late on the game, it'd be just really nice to know updates, or not be like, oh, hey, it was supposed to come out this month. It's gonna be late by like 6 months. Be like, just tell us in advance. Like, you knew that the game wasn't gonna be at our houses a while ago.
Like, that's kind of my gripe with Lords of Hellas right now. Like, I know some of the people that did the pre-order shipping, right? But they were like, man, we never expected so many people to back the game.
What?
Well, you should have, because the numbers came in on Kickstarter, right? Like, you shouldn't have been surprised. X thousand people backed the game. Like, should not be that big of a deal that so many people backed it. So, I don't know. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things where it is annoying, where you are trying to get everything together and get everything going on, but they can't seem to get their act together on some companies. In other companies like Cool Mini or not, it's weird. I've kind of grown used to expecting at least a 2 to 3 month delay. Like, okay, it says July, I'll get it by September. Like, okay, like, sure, type of a thing. But I don't know. I'm just happy with communication. Tell me I'm beautiful, Roy. Tell me I look good. Tell me that my money is still doing something, and I'll be happy. But when there's just nothing.
Tell me you're not like sitting in your new house sipping margaritas with all the money we sent you.
Yeah,
please.
And then you know, just keep me updated. And then don't email me every like 4 months saying, "Oh yeah, we're still working on it." Oh, bro, that pisses me off. So anyway,
like, give some cool information. I mean, there's lots of. I mean, I feel like part of the Kickstarter experience that people kind of want is like that, hey, how's the development process going? Even if you're just like, hey, the minis are finished molding, they're packing all the boxes, here's a couple pictures we got from the manufacturer or whatever, or hey, the first like production copy of the game came in for us to proof of the game. Send out pictures of that stuff. I mean, I know Gameland Games does a lot of that stuff, which is really cool. They're like, hey, we finally got the production copy. Check this out. Blah blah blah.
Yes, I mean, companies like that, love them.
Even if it's just like, oh, we got the blank copy, where they send you all the little blank cards and things like that. Just like be like, hey, this is where the process is at right now, and these look great and approve it. And I even think it's really cool when the company's like, hey, we found this. We weren't very happy about it. We're getting them to fix this. And I mean, that's kind of cool, because you're like, oh, cool. They're like seeing things, they're fixing things up, and it's cool to be a part of that Kickstarter experience, because you backed the game, you put the money out there in the first place. It's really cool to see that when companies do that. So I know even far off games with like Zaya, they're like, oh man, we got these things in, but this wasn't right, so we had to like talk to them, and they're gonna have to like remold this thing to fix it because the little comments are spinning around, they're not fitting on the bases properly. They said it shouldn't cause any delays, but just wanted to make you guys aware of it. It's just kind of cool.
Even if there's a delay, just tell me that there's going to be a delay. And again, Cody really does do a good job with that.
Yeah.
Another good company. So anyway, Solomon Kane, I'm probably gonna back it. Just it looks fun. It looks fun. What else is in the news, man? How have you been?
I've been doing good. Super tired. I worked 10.5 hours last night. That means I got home at 4 a.m.
Bro, I had a rough weekend, and then I had a rough day yesterday. And it was
but we're here with you guys, and we're stoked.
No, you guys are the only thing that is making it better.
But yeah,
I burned my daughter this weekend.
What?
Yeah.
You weren't even playing Happy Salmon?
No, I wasn't even playing Happy Salmon. My wife, I told her to get away, go. My mom was out of town, and so I asked my mom if my wife could use her cabin, go with a couple girlfriends, and just get away, right? Like I've let her, like I've not let her. She's gone out like for dinners and stuff like that, but never an overnight.
Mhm.
And so, my daughter has never been separated from my wife for longer than like 3 hours, I think at the most.
That's crazy.
Um, well, I mean, we work from home a lot of the
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
and so it's just So anyway, so my daughter's like freaking out. She's just like screaming and crying and screaming and crying, and um my other daughter, like as soon as I put her down, she'll start crying, and so I got to
It
hold
was
her. And
like
then my
a
other daughter,
dad
she's just
scene
like
from one of
freaking
those
out.
movies with the clueless dad and the kids are going crazy.
It was rough, and I was also going off of a couple of hours of sleep. It's not an excuse, but anyway, I was cooking my other daughter dinner, and as I turned, I was holding my one daughter. I turned, and her arm, ever so, so softly brushed the pan that I was, or the pot that I was boiling the noodles for, like mac and cheese or something like that. And it didn't blister or anything like that, but it left like a little red, like it barely touched, like no blistering or anything, but it left like a little red spot. And so for the rest of the night, I was just like, "You're such a terrible dad. You're such a
Oh
bad
no.
person." I just felt like terrible. I mean, I felt god awful. And my wife texted me later, just checking in how everything's going, and I just texted her back.
I
No
branded
one,
our child.
well, I was just like, no one died. Like, because I didn't want to tell her, I didn't want to like ruin her night or anything. I mean, everything was taken care of, right? But like, nothing makes you feel like such a piece of crap
The house
when you
isn't
hurt
burnt
one of your
down.
little ones. Um, my daughter got her mac and cheese. My other daughter got fed, um, and I was so paranoid about like if she was okay. So I went to go like I slept in her bedroom, like because we have like a guest bed in there,
Mhm.
and every time I'd fall asleep, I snore. Every time I fall asleep, it'd wake her up.
Oh no.
So, like when I saw my wife Sunday morning at church,
You're like, I love you so much.
oh man, like first of all, like I'm surprised I was able to get everything together. I think it was around like 2:30 in the morning where I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna sleep. Like it's fine. Like I realized like yeah, I'm not gonna sleep because like I would sleep for like 45 seconds to maybe a minute and a half, and as soon as that first rip would happen, I was in my dog, and it's, just
Oh no.
it was just rough. And I could have gone back into my bed and put the baby monitor in my room. So, but I wasn't thinking. I was tired. I branded my daughter. I was doing terrible
Oh
things. My
no.
wife was gone. My other daughter, I mean, she's 5. She was doing great, but still, I mean, it was a rough weekend.
It's
And then
funny
I
because
had a
like
rough day
I'm in
yesterday.
charge of our kids like almost all the time, so I'm
When
like
I even told
always
my
watch
wife
them.
after I met her, I was like, "Look, babe, I can do better. Like, you can go out again. Please don't make this assumption that like you can never leave the house again." Because I was just like, I love you so much, but I can do this. Like, I promise, nobody will get hurt. Because I don't know. I mean, my wife's awesome. She deserves a break. She deserves a night to get
Oh
away
yeah,
and
for sure.
go hang out with girlfriends and stuff like that. So
Me and my wife try to do that too. Like, hey, you do the family stuff or do hang out with friends, and I'll do game days.
yeah,
But yeah, good times. Awesome. Well, we did get to play some games. I got to play several things, which are pretty exciting. One of which I finally, after I don't know how long I've been playing it, I finished my campaign for Arkham Horror LCG.
really.
So I
Like the
finished
whole story and everything, or
yeah,
is there
the
another
whole
story
story
coming?
arc. So the way the campaigns work in this is you have a big box, and there's basically two games in the big box, like two different stories. And basically it's kind of cool because you get to pick which one you want to go to first. It gives you the story primer, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
do you want to go try to find this guy, or hey, do you want to go over here and try to rescue this guy? And so you have two different choices, and it just changes the order that you do that in. And then there's 6 other of the small packs. So it's basically 8 games altogether, and it's an overarching story throughout the whole thing. So we did the Dunwich Legacy, and I finally finished it, and the whole thing culminated. And man, that game is ridiculous, man. I don't know. I wish you could play through it, Rob, because the story in it is just so good, and it just goes through. And I don't know if you know like the storyline of like the Dunwich Horror. It's kind of like supposed to take place like after the Dunwich Horror happens, and there's still like crazy stuff going on in the town, and it's it's just a lot of fun how things that happen carry on over into the thing. And then even at the end, it was like tying up loose ends of things that happened earlier in the story. And it was just fun. I was just playing as Daisy, which is like a librarian. I was a librarian.
Is that your blonde-headed chick?
Yeah, it's the blonde-headed chick. She gets like she can use tomes. She gets like a free action to tomes, so I can just
she's your girl.
Spamming books all the time. But I was basically going through different places of reality with a Necronomicon in each hand. One of them was good because they're different translations. One was good. The other one was driving me insane. And I was trying to figure out how to do all this different stuff, and I made it out alive, even though I was very scarred and traumatized because I think there's no way to get around that in that game. But it was a lot of fun. It's cool because I could play through the scenario again and have like a different build and try to face it a different way because I was playing very passive, hide from the monsters, grab the clues. I could play a different character and do it completely different and go in guns blazing, beat up all the monsters, and win that way. So there's different paths to victory and different branches of the story depending on how you play through. But I did the whole sneaking around getting the clues aspect, and it was definitely a lot of fun. And then I rebuilt a deck and made a like spell casting character, and me and Trevor today played our first game in the Paths of Carcosa. And it's definitely a lot different playing with two players. It's definitely kind of fun because we're trying to figure out who's going to go where and who's going to do what. But then we get to like the end of a scenario, and it's like, because you get experience points, and you can use those experience points to buy more cards. We're like, do we really want to end the scenario? We should end the scenario because we could just lose if we don't. But it's like, but we could get more experience points. So we're arguing back and forth of whether or not we're going to like end the scenario. And normally when you're playing by yourself, you don't have to do that. It's like, dude, I'm going to die. We have to end it now. But it was a lot of fun. So I'm definitely excited to start the next campaign because he's bought all the stuff for the next campaign already.
Did you guys play Seventh
Continent?
Seventh Continent?
Yeah, we actually picked up from where me and you were playing.
That long ago. Wow.
Yeah, so we're just like, oh, let's just play this because we're trying to figure out what in the world to play because we wanted to play Arkham, but I hadn't built my deck yet and I hadn't finished the scenario. And it was fun. I think when me and you played, we spent so many of our action cards just trying to get off that first island that like when me and Trevor played, we went a little ways, but we accidentally passed some food. Like we're like, oh, you can't look at everything. And we missed like one location to look at, and that's where you hunted for food. And so we went a little bit further and then lost because in the game, you're taking actions and doing different things in Seventh Continent. And you can do a lot of stuff, but the more things you do, it's going to run out that action deck. And once the action deck runs all the way out, it flips over, and then there's curses in there. And if you ever reveal a curse randomly out of that deck, you just lose. So we got to the point where we ran out of food, and we ran out, and the thing had to flip over, and we're like, man, this stinks, but maybe we have random chances. The very first card we flipped off was the curse, and we're like, well, we lost. So we didn't have much of a chance there, but it was cool because he kind of wanted to put it all back the way that it goes and to give us a good opportunity to clean the game all up and make it ready for playing a different scenario for him and stuff like that. So,
well, cool.
But
I guess.
But yeah, our characters died. We starved to death, I guess, but we didn't have much to go on. But I think that scenario we were playing, because it's a scenario where you have to find all these different items all around the island to fight these gigantic monsters. I feel like it's a scenario that you don't play unless you've played the game a ton of times, because it doesn't really give you direction on where to find the idols. So I think it's one of those things where you just kind of have to remember where the idols are around the island or around the continent. And I think there's like 5 of them you have to find or something like that. And I'd only ever seen like 1 or 2. I think I remember seeing one somewhere like in a cave, like underground, when I played with Trevor the first time. So I was like, how do we get back there? But I also think we landed on a different island than the first time we played. So I just had no clue where we were. So, but yeah, Seventh Continent is a crazy game. That's another game where there's just so many options of how you can play and what you can do.
I could see myself playing that game. That was one after you and I got done playing. I was like, you know what? Like, this is one of those long games that I would document how far I'd gotten.
There's so much to explore.
There really is. It's like it. To me, it feels like that open world RPG of a board game.
I really just want to take all of the cards and lay out the entire continent. I know it's bad, but I just want to see what it looks like. And I mean, that's a big part of the charm of the game, is exploring that continent. But it's like,
not doing what you want to do.
How big is this thing? Like, how big is it? Because you can't tell, because the whole game is just cards. And you're just putting out little square cards as you're going around, and it's making a map as you're going along. And you're encountering all sorts of weird creatures and different things, and it's super interesting. But yeah, that's Seventh Continent and Arkham Horror LCG. That's what I've been playing.
Well, sweet. I finally got to play a game that I've been wanting to play for a long time, and this is a game that I wanted to play with one of our listeners, Mark, aka Mega Moose Con. We got to play FIFA France 14. I think it's 1429, but it's FIFA France. And FIFA France, Roy, if you could get over the historical theme, I absolutely think you'd love this game.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely think you'd love this game.
I mean, I think I'd probably like it too, but...
so much fun. I had a blast. I didn't realize...
I would like it more if they added spells into it.
5+ hours. I went to Mega Moose Con. They did like a small little con in between like the big ones and stuff like that. And I saw Mark post about it on Facebook. So I was like, hey, man, I'm going to try to come down. You want to get in a game of FIFA? Anyway, so FIFA, what you're doing... FIFA is you are controlling a color, aka a family, and everybody draws a card and you pick your person at first. You could be a male knight or you could be a female lady, and you are trying to get 4 victory points as a team or 3 victory points as an individual. I think this is a game that it's sort of like Rex, but it's not like Rex. But it is like Rex where you can have allies and stuff. Yeah, however, in this game you can attack your allies.
Oh, nice.
And what you did is, so we were playing, and you are trying to become the fief lord of different areas of the map. The map has got different colors: green, blue, red, yellow, pink. There's several different areas, and then also outlining those areas. There's areas on the map where bishop, if you want to become a bishop with the church. Now, whether you want to be a bishop of the church or not, it's important to try to become a bishop because that gives you voting power. Because back in the day, the only people that got to vote were either the fief lords or people in the church. Yeah, and so you could become a bishop to become a cardinal to then try to become the pope.
Nice.
And one of the things that happened is when we all got dealt our cards, I was the only lady at first. Everybody else had male characters, and I was Lady Morale. And Lady Morale, we rocked it. We rocked our stuff. But the reason why it's important if you have a male or female is you can marry your character to somebody else's character. And by doing so, that brings you in an alliance. And so that helps you, get together with your points and stuff like that. However, if somebody becomes pope, and we had somebody become pope, they can annul the marriage. And just say, if somebody says, yeah, I don't want to be married to so-and-so any longer, the pope can say, yep, you're not married. And so we played like the base standard game. We had our knights, we had our footmen, we had other equipment. But you get these 3 tokens. And I know I'm butchering explaining this game. Long story short, you're trying to get 3 individual victory points, 4 as a combined team. You can get them as becoming a pope. You can get it as becoming king. Or you can get it as being a lord over a fiefdom. And I think there's 6 fiefdoms on the map. So it's easier for you and a teammate to control a couple of fiefdoms and then one of you become pope or something like that. It's not an easy game to just win. You're not just going to run out there and control everything. Nice. The game also comes with strongholds. It also comes with fortresses. It comes with a bunch of different stuff. The combat in the game is based off of numbers. Mm-hmm. So a footman is worth 1 strength, a knight is worth 3 strength. Strongholds aren't necessarily worth strength, but in a stronghold it's -1 dice, and a fortified stronghold it's -2 die of the enemy, and the attackers only can ever roll up to 3 dice. So being in a fortified city, having them only roll 1 die is pretty amazing. All dice hit, all dice rolls hit, so you're going to kill at least 1 person, but it's only 1 through 3. Um,
Oh,
and
gotcha.
what ended up happening is everybody. So you get these little like coins, and certain coins have certain values. So you can vote on things, and the way you vote on things is you get a black pebble and a white pebble, and so you do Game of Thrones style. People would put their votes down on certain cards. Like if I wanted to be a bishop, all right, Roy, I need you to vote for me to be bishop. If you vote for me to be bishop, Roy, I will let you be. I'll vote for you to be king later because I'll use the votes that I get as bishop to help vote you in as king because I also have these votes because I'm the chieftain of this. And so we're doing a lot of negotiating back and forth and a lot of backstabbing. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
so much backstabbing in this game. So much just like, hey, I'm going to vote for you. Let's be friends. I'm not going to attack you. And oh, and you can attack your allies in this game. So it doesn't matter if you're married to somebody, you can
Yeah.
still attack them. And there's an assassination card. And so if you don't like somebody's character, like if somebody becomes Pope and you don't want them to be Pope, there's one assassination card in the deck and there's two escape assassination cards. And it's like a 50 plus card deck. So the chances of them having one of those escape cards is pretty slim.
Yeah,
So you can assassinate somebody. I'm like, nope, I don't want Roy to be Pope. That's way too much power because the Pope gets a lot of power. Just kill off Roy. And then you lose all those titles, you lose all that stuff, and you got to start over. But you have these three little bird tokens, and you get 3 minutes. So, Roy, let's say I want to talk to you, and I don't want anybody else to hear it. I can put this bird token out in the middle of the board, and you and I get 3 minutes to leave the table and go discuss our plans.
Nice.
And we can negotiate, and they can't come listen. It's part of the rules.
Does that
and
make the
so-
game take a lot longer, you think, or does that only
Yes
happen
and
once
no.
per game?
There was a bunch of people doing it, and every time they got up, I was like, "All right, we got to kill them." Like as soon as somebody got up, from the table, I was like, "All right, we got to kill them." Nope, we got to do this. No, I don't trust so and so. Had a blast playing with Mark. Everybody was taking Mark's wife off to the side. She was in a pretty powerful position, and so they're all like trying to negotiate with her. Hey, if your character will marry my character, I'll attack this person over here, and then you can do this. Or hey, another thing in the game is let's say you want to attack somebody, but I need to go through your area first, Roy.
Yeah.
You can give me a rite of passage that allows me to move my army through your territory without us fighting.
That's kind of cool.
And so, like, people would put those things saying, hey, I don't want to mess with you, but I need to get over to here. Can we go talk about this? They just didn't want to tell the other person that was happening. And so it's a lot of negotiating, a lot of points, a lot of, like, armies and stuff like that. But it was an
That
absolute
seems like the
blast.
kind of thing that could save arguments in games if you could go through someone's area without having to fight through it.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
get
and
to
that's-
another
and-
person.
Oh, and it definitely helped.
I'm not
And,
calling
Mark-
back to our Twilight Imperium game at all.
No. Mark was married to this one guy, and his character was the drawings weren't very good, and so they're just talking to each other, giving each other a hard time about who's cooking who biscuits in the kitchen and who's doing this, and oh honey, just don't worry about this, and we were having a lot of fun. But I had this one guy beside me. His name was Joe, and I think Joe was not in the same caliber of a player as you, even though he was a good player. But Joe is the one that betrays everybody. So Joe was Roy to me.
I don't betray
Like,
everybody because
Nobody trusted Joe. In fact, when I first
I
sat
just
down,
make sure that the win happens.
well, when I sat down, everyone was like, "Look, don't trust Joe. Don't trust him. Whatever you do, don't trust Joe." Well, I ended up getting married to Joe.
Nice.
My character married Joe, and I felt so bad because like people were dogging Joe pretty bad. Like he was doing some dumb stuff, and he was hilarious. Joe was a lot of fun, but he was doing some dumb stuff, and so people were just giving him a hard time. And so I ended up, I was gonna here's my plan. I was gonna marry Joe, ask him to allow me to pass through his land without any problems. And then I was going to go attack his capital city. Because you can do that. You can say, hey, Joe, let's get married. We're allies. I need to march over here. And if I go right, I attack another person's capital city. If I go left, I attack Joe's capital city. And I was going to go left. And then, bro, listen to this. So there's these cards. So at the beginning of the round, you can draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
There are these cards that there's gray cards, gold card, and black cards. Black cards are weather events that happens.
Oh, gotcha.
So there's a plague that can come out. There's stormy weather, and then there's like a drought where there's a famine. So if a plague happens, If you have any lords in that area, you roll the dice. On a 1 through 3, your lord dies.
Sounds
On
gross.
a 4 through 6, yeah, on a 4 through 6, and all of your army in that area where the plague happens, you lose half of your army.
Sounds gross.
Yeah, and then there's the card where it's the stormy weather or the downpour. You cannot move into that area, and you cannot move out of that area. So if that weather card happens in your area, your army's not moving. Nothing. They're not coming in. You're not going out.
Kind of like the sandstorm in Rex.
Yeah, and then there's the drought. And
Or
in the game, you want to buy windmills because that's going to produce money for you and also produce food for your armies.
Yeah.
And if drought happens on an area, all those areas with windmills, they're not producing any extra money.
Oh, crazy.
So this happens every round, and all this stuff is going on. And so you're negotiating with people, and there was times I wanted to screw over Joe, but I couldn't because a weather card would happen or a plague would happen. And if you move your army into an area where the plague just happened, you automatically lose half of your army. So it's a brutal game, but I absolutely loved it. It's FIFA France. I think you should give it a try. I'm excited to play with some of the expansions because they have Knights Templars and they have Archers and other things like that. I'm interested to see how those work out. But it was just a bunch of great stuff.
What about wizards? No, I'm just kidding.
No wizards or anything like that. I ended up winning the game. So there was this guy I was allied with at the beginning. We didn't get married, but Muriel and his guy, I think his name was like Quentin, we had a little thing. We were happy with each other. Muriel didn't want to get locked down or anything like that, so she didn't marry him, and I eventually drew a couple of other characters. So I had a knight and I had another chick. And so I ended up attacking him because he wasn't doing what I wanted him to do, so I just attacked his capital city. I took it over. Well, at the time, he was a king. We had voted him king of the game.
Nice.
I helped make him king. I was like, all right, I'll vote for you because I had like 10 votes at that time. And as king, he just kind of sat there, and I was like, not on my watch, buddy. So I took Muriel and my huge army, and I sandwiched him in from 2 different sides. And I was trying to kill him. Well, I couldn't kill him. And then Mark's wife became the Pope, and I was like, we got to stop this from happening. And finally, I looked at the king, and other people are like, all right, if they get married and then they do this one thing and they can hold it during the round, they win the game. And we're like, yes, we can. Hey, king, would you like to get married? I would love to get married, blah, blah, blah. And at this time, I was married to Joe, and so I took Mark's wife off to the side with my peace coin because she was the Pope, and I was like, hey, I'll give you money, I'll give you this. I know you want to go play Battlestar Galactica, so let's just end the game. I used another game as bribery on her, and she was like, done. And so we came back to the table, and Joe's just sitting there like, baby, you're not going to leave, are you? You're not going to leave? I'm like, sorry, Joe. I had it. It's just a little too good. It's the king, and so we were goofing around. We had a blast. We had a lot of fun. I think games like that too. It also helps with the people that you're playing with because like we were yelling at each other and being crazy and backstabbing, but like everybody had a good time. Everybody was giving each other a hard time and joking around and laughing and goofing off. It was a great experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just I am glad I bought it, and so many years ago. I bought it like over 3 years ago, and it's a game now that I'll never get rid of.
You'd say it's one of those.
It's easily a top 20 game of all time for me, and I think if I played again, it could go like
even
possibly
higher.
Top 10.
You would say it's definitely one of those where like randomness happens a lot in the game too, though, right? As far as like, I just got screwed by this or that, because somebody in chat said
there's a
that
lot
has
of randomness,
mixed reviews, and sometimes I can come from people that are just like, that's not their style of game. They want it to be more deterministic.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of randomness. Like for example, the weather cards and the plague cards.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was like, man, you get hit by that plague.
The 3 areas that happens in, you roll a dice, and it's a 6-sided dice, and the board is broken up into the 6 areas. And so, okay, if you roll a 1, it's that the drought is going to happen at the 1.
But if it hit your opponent, you'd be doing super good.
Drought. It's all random, which makes sense though, because I mean the weather patterns and stuff like that, especially at the time, you can't predict what's going to go where. But it was just, man, it was a lot of fun.
You just got to have fun with it.
Yeah, you just got to have fun. Like it's one of those games where like you can try to win, especially if you played with friends before and get a a good strategy, but it's also one of those games where your strategy could literally be blown out the window, especially if other people get more voting power.
Oh, yeah.
You're not able to do anything. And then you get bad weather cards and stuff. The voting thing that's what's so great. Everybody making their cases on why you should vote for them to be the bishop so then they can be cardinals. And the game is a sexist game because women cannot be cardinals or popes. Because it's based off of the rules at that time in the 1400s in that time frame. And so, but it was fun because I was the only girl at first because you're picking these cards and you can pick to try to get a character card. But for like the first couple rounds, I was the only girl. And the very first thing you do at the beginning of every round, you ask, does anybody want to get married? That's very thing because that's how you create your alliances and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Kind of like the tea ceremony in Rising Sun. Gotta create alliances.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Definitely sounds super cool.
You should play, especially if you get a chance. You should play with Mark and his wife on some of the fans. Now, I will say this: we played with 6 people, so that's another reason why it took so long. We played with the full kit and caboodle. They say it's good with 5 or 6. They say smaller than that, it's not as great. Mm-hmm. But it plays really well with 5 or 6. We played with 6, and I didn't realize how late it was until towards the end. Like that's how much fun I was having.
Yeah, I love games like that where it's like huge and epic, and there's stuff going on constantly. So that way,
I looked down on my phone.
Holy smokes!
We started playing at 10:30, and I looked down on my phone, and it was it just hit 2:00, and I was like, oh man, we're not even close to.
I don't have a problem with a game being a long game as long as the game's engaging the whole time. And then it's like, yes.
That's what I love about this, because even when it wasn't your turn, you had the chance to vote. You had the chance to do something. You had the chance to negotiate. And it keeps you engaged. Like, it's not one of those games where if you leave and you don't talk with people and do stuff, you're not going to do well in the game. Like, you've got to talk. You've got to get yourself involved.
I'm all about that negotiation, so. Awesome.
I loved it.
Well, I also had a chance to play Dragon Castle again. And this time I played it with my wife and a couple of our family friends or whatever that I used to play D&D with a lot and I play board games with a lot. They actually helped in a way to, like, when I was first started getting in board games, they were there playing Betrayal at House on the Hill and stuff like that, and Carcassonne with me. So it was really cool to play that with them. But I talked about Dragon Castle before. It's like, I'm going to say it wrong. Mojang, how do you say it? Yeah, Mojang. It's basically that, but you have your own like castle building aspect of it, where it's an abstract game where you're getting points, super quick turns, so it's pretty light and fun. And Brandy, my friend's wife, and my wife are big fans of Mahjong, so it was cool for them to play it and see how they this game's like a riff on that and how it like changes that up. It's like a simple like set collection, point gaining little game where you're building castles with the little tiles. It's just good quality components. It's a really light family style game, but they definitely had a lot of fun playing Dragon Castle. So good times.
You post some pictures of you and Heather playing.
Yeah. If people are interested in like a good game that they could play with their wife or play with their family that would be interested in like that abstractist sort of game, it's just a good light game like that. And I know that a lot of people are excited about it right now. So hype. Cool. Was there anything else, Rob, or should we?
That was the only game because I had to leave around 3:30, and I played that until after 3, and then that's the only game I got to play. But we can start talking about some stuff. I have another embarrassing, terrible story to get into.
Nice. Well, part of that has to do with Origins is actually starting this week. There's people already like going into Columbus and everything. It's going to be.
It started today.
So like the rest of the week, all the stuff's going to happen. Lots of different announcements and things like that. So we're going to talk about a few of the games that might be coming out there and just talk about upcoming things in general. But yeah, so. Sadly, we're not at Origins, if you can't tell. I wish I was. I got so many text messages.
I almost was at Origins.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah, I almost went for like a day.
Oh, dude, that would be really awesome. Like, I'd be like, yeah, that's
That
awesome.
that whole text thing, I was gonna drive up there for like a day.
Nice. Oh, until things happened.
Yeah.
Oh no, man.
You want me to just get into it?
Well, anyway, I got like texts from like Emerson and several other people like asking me. I actually had a bunch of like fans and things being like, "Oh man, I can't wait to see you at Origins." I'm like, oh, it always stinks because I feel like a lot of people out there are like, "Oh, these guys do the board game media. They're at all the board game conventions, and Origins is a big one." So we might have to try to make it happen next year, you know, because I'd love to just try it out because I haven't been to Origins. I've never been, but it definitely looks like a lot of fun. It's like that in between convention, you know, it's not quite as big as Gen Con, but it still has releases.
Yep.
And hopefully you have a little bit more room to actually play some games too. So
yeah, a lot of developers and stuff like that we've had on the show said that they like Origins because they get to do business, but they also get to play.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did you want to share your thing?
I almost went to Origins. So this was my Monday. So Monday morning, I was swamped with work, and I was at these appointments, and I was actually I was doing property and stuff for this one client where we had repairs and stuff going on. And for those that don't know, I absolutely love Isaac Vega. He's a top 3 designer favorite of mine. Love him to death. And Isaac texted me, and we've talked in the past about certain things. But he texted me yesterday, and he's like, "Hey man, you going to Origins?" And I was like, "I don't believe so. Should I go? Do you guys need volunteers or something?" And he said, "No, LOL. I just wanted to sit down and play Starship Samurai with you." Smiley face. So immediately my head just like, oh my gosh, Isaac Vega just texted me that he wanted to play his new game with me. This is absolutely amazing. And so I'm like, I'm in an appointment. I come back to my phone. I see this on my phone. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I texted him back.
At what point did you text me?
I texted you later.
Okay.
I texted you later. We texted for a while. It was, I mean, not a while, but it was just over a course of time because of me and with clients and stuff. I don't have my phone with me. I try not to keep it on me. And so he texted, he would love to play with me. I said, that would have been absolutely amazing. And so then he texted me back and he said, so you're coming then? And so I texted him, what day and time are you thinking? Let me see if I can get away. I'd make the drive to play a game with you. Wink, wink.
Oh no, I feel so bad.
Bro. So I call my friend, he who shall not be named.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, if I went to Origins, would you go with me for a day and just like split a hotel with me or something like that? Just for one day. I was like, Isaac Vega is texting me right now saying that he wants to play a game with me and his new game. And I'm so excited. And this is going to be so great and stuff like that. And so as I'm on the phone with he who shall not be named, Isaac is texting me and he's like, dude, I'm just kidding. Aren't you like 10 hours away? Well, no, because I map quested it. I'm a little over 6 hours away. I would have happily made that drive. So I'm still on the phone with Lee, or he who shall not be named. His name is not Lee. His name is Terrible Person. And he is a terrible person for what he does next. And so I'm on the phone with Lee. And so, crap, I said it again. He who shall not be named. And so I text back Isaac, and I'm like, bro, I was about to have a serious conversation with my lady about you in this game. It's not every day one of your favorite designers asks to play their latest game with you. Right? Because as soon as I got off the phone with he who shall not be named, I was going to call my wife. And I was going to be like, babe, I just need to go for a day. I'll leave late at night. I'll get a hotel room. I'll come back the next night, blah, blah, blah. And here's where it gets really bad. He says, oh, Roy, I would play anything with you any day. Seriously, bro. Though don't go way out of your way for just me. Just wanted to see if you're already going. I'll make some time for you at Gen Con if you're going this year. I'm on the phone.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm on the phone with he who shall not be named. And I'm like, oh man, Isaac just texted me back. And so stupidly, I start reading the text out loud. He does the same thing you did. He does the exact same thing you did. He just lost it. Almost like he dropped the phone. He just busted out laughing. And so all of a sudden, like the nervous little girl inside of me just, did you mean Roy or Rob? And then I was like, it's cool. Just FYI, this is Rob with Epic Gaming Night, not Roy. I'm just a co-host, and with a sad emoji face. And then he's like, Rob, I still love you. No worries. You know I love both of you guys. And then, like, at this time, I'm dying on the inside. And I'm like, it's all good. Enjoy your trip. And I'm just feeling terrible. And I have my best friend laughing in my ear. He can't stop laughing. And he's just laughing his head off. And he says, I mean Rob, by the way. I'm just terrible with names. And now he's playing Recovery, right? Like, he's already sent a couple texts. Now he's playing Recovery. And he said, are you planning on going to Gen Con? I said, Roy is going. I'm up in the air. I run the family business now, so work is crazy. The only con out of state I have booked is Dice Tower, since it's the closest thing I can get to, like a BGG con. So I said, I'm going to Dice Tower, right? Because it's like BGG con. And he says, well, I'll see you then.
He's not going to be at Dice Tower. They're going to BGG con.
You're coming to my neck of the woods. So we should schedule a time for me and you, and we'll go out and have barbecue. Have you been to the Pecan Lodge yet? Oh, crap. I had a brain fart. You're going to Dice Tower, not BGG. LOL. I still haven't been to that one. I should really go next year. And then I did this. I did this. I don't know if you can see this. That's what I texted him. Just like, it's just getting worse. It's just getting absolutely worse. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I keep letting you down. And then I did this this GIF after it where it's like a little girl laying on a bed. I'm not okay. And it was rough. It was rough, bro.
Dude, I love Isaac. Isaac's awesome.
I love him. I think he's hilarious. But I ended up like, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm gonna be all good. I'm going to be by myself now for a while. Have a good day. He's like, oh, Rob, you need to come to Origins now. You need a hug. I said, I do need a hug. But enjoy your trip, and we will touch base soon. And then it was a bunch of like other little stuff. But bro, so that was my day yesterday. I was this close to going to Origins for like a day. And then as soon as he said, oh, Roy, and as soon as I said it out loud while on the phone with he who shall not be named, the worst person to say that to, in fact, he's probably still laughing about it, right? I had to hang up on him.
Oh, man, I feel bad.
He just would not stop laughing. My whole heart, my whole everything. And then I showed my wife later.
At what point did you text me and are like, oh, did Isaac text you? I was like, no.
So all that started going down. Hold on, let me see. It was after he said, oh, Roy.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because that's when I was like, oh, did he text you? And maybe he really meant Rob, and he just accidentally typed Roy because he was texting both of us type of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after the, oh, Roy. Yeah, it was then when, yeah, so I don't know if I'm ever going to Origins now.
Hey, I'm going. Isaac's excited to play games with me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Rob. You're the best.
You know what? It's one of those things where it's like, it is funny, and I wanted to share it and stuff like that. I don't know. I still love Isaac. There's no hard feelings or anything like that. Just the fact that he knows my name and he's been on the show and stuff like that. And I have actually hugged Isaac twice, and he's a fantastic hugger. It is wonderful. And those guys get bombarded with people all the time, especially now near con season and stuff like that. But for about a good 30 minutes, I felt special.
You are special, Rob. Hey,
I felt special.
Don't let your specialness hang on someone else's misspokenness. You are a special person, Rob.
Yeah. And if I ever do go to Origins, I will do my best to try to bring the chair. If anything, just a picture of the chair. But man, yeah, it was just that's my Origins experience. So if you're going to be at Origins, go say hi to Isaac and tell him that Rob from Epic Gaming Night says hello. Please do that. Please do that.
That's awesome.
If you see him at Origins, just say, here's a hug. If you can hug me for Rob, it'll be like a, stand in my place type of a hug. That would be absolutely amazing. Oh,
nice. I am actually super stoked about his game though.
I want to buy his game.
I watched.
It's on the. It's not out yet. You can't do anything with it yet.
Yeah, but they're gonna be demoing it, or maybe it's secret demos. I think
it's secret demos because I didn't see it on the Origins thing.
Yeah.
For the hype stuff, it would have made the hype.
So demos for media or whatever, probably. Yeah. But that's kind of cool. But yeah, I guess we can talk about it. It seems like there's a few interesting things at Origins. Normally, honestly, Gen Con always has all the games I'm super excited about because a lot of the bigger publishers save some of their stuff or save almost all their stuff for Gen Con. That's when I get super hyped. But there are several games that are super interesting that is going to be coming out at Origins, if not for sale, but for demo. Have you looked at any of this stuff at all yet, Rob?
I've been looking at several of this stuff.
So they're going to actually have Century Eastern Wonders for sale there.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love Century Spice Road, and this is Century Spice Road, but where you're sailing around to do the actions. And we had Emerson come on the podcast and talk about it, but it adds a movement component and almost like a pick up and deliver-ish component to it because you have to go pick up the cubes at different places and kind of like control different islands sort of, and then go take it to these different harbors to be able to drop off the cubes to gain the points. Definitely super interesting, and anything by Emerson I just want to play.
He's also I would say, like, if I were to do a top 5 designers, the top 3 would be tough. Isaac now would be number 3.
He went down.
Well, here's the thing. Like, Isaac, between Isaac Vega, Emerson Matsuuchi, and Eric Lang, depending on what game I just played, either one of those 3 gentlemen could be a top 3. Number 4 right after that is Corey Kineska with Fantasy Flight. I absolutely love Corey.
Yeah.
And the number 5 is also hard for me. But the top 3 on any day, either one of those 3 guys could be a number 1 for me. There's not a game of theirs that I have played that I just have not enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just a great game.
Nice. They're gonna have demos of the Dinosaur Island expansion stuff. I know you're excited about.
I'm excited for that. I think I'm more excited though, because I am excited because I backed that, but I'm excited for the Mind. Wasn't that game that you were telling me about?
Yeah. Where you're trying to
and it's for sale.
Yeah. There's a lot of people.
$15.
Yeah. It's just like a deck of cards with numbers on it mostly. So
yeah, but I love the concept. I love the simplicity of it.
Nice. Also, Reef is going to be for sale. Have you looked at Reef at all? That's Emerson's other new game, and this is an abstract game. And here's what's crazy. So I recently Tom Vassell did a top 10 games from Emerson Matsuuchi because he's doing like designer top 10s.
Yeah.
Reef is his number 1. How is Reef? Like I'm sure Reef is great, but if Reef is better than Spectre Ops and Century and
I'm gonna have to put
Crossfire,
that down. Is it for sale?
I'm gonna try it. It's an abstract. It's for sale there. So it is the
that's
next
awesome.
move game. I'm definitely interested. I watched a video on it, and it's like you're getting these different cards that have different patterns on them, and you're building up like in a 3D space these reefs or whatever. It seems really cool. But yeah, I'm interested to try it out because Emerson and all that.
Well, and also Tom is a fan of Emerson's and stuff like that. If this is already like his number 1, and that's kind of a big deal.
Did you see Ice Cool 2?
I did. I still need to play the first one. Like, I demoed the first one, and I own the first one. It's still in shrink.
Matt has it.
Yeah.
Ice Cool 2 basically is like a reverse board of the regular Ice Cool, but if you have both, you can now play up to 8 players and put all of the boards together, which is really cool looking. And so you can play a giant game of Ice Cool, and it comes with like optional rules where you can do like a team race sort of thing where there's 2 players on each team and you're trying to race around the school or whatever.
I like that.
And then there's like just different map setups you can do now that there's twice as many of the boards.
Yeah.
And it's got different colors of the different penguins and stuff like that, so they can be differentiated.
I know it's not for sale, but I'm actually I'm pretty excited for Western Legends to be demoed.
Yes.
That's a Kickstarter that I backed after playing. Who did we play with? Jeff? What was his name?
Oh,
come on,
Robert Geislinger.
Robert Geislinger. Not Jeff at all. Not Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
That's right. Oh man. Yeah, we didn't even play. He just showed us like a crappy advanced like demo kit type of a thing.
Hey, he printed that out himself. Don't be too mean.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying like it wasn't like game quality or anything.
Print and
but
play.
It's basically Wild Wild West meets Zaya.
Yeah. I'm excited to try it out.
I'm very excited. It was one of those games where I just like before he was done talking, I backed it.
Do you know when
was also really
release
late.
time for the Kickstarter is, or when that's going to be coming in?
I could tell you here momentarily.
But yeah, that's one that when it comes in, we definitely have to play it, Rob, because it looks.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, any game that people are going to label as a sandbox game, I want to try it. Just because like Zaya is the only one that I have that gives you that sort of feel. I just like the idea of being able to run around the board and play the game the way you want to play it, but still be able to get points in varieties of ways. I know there's plenty of games that are like, oh, this is a point salad, but it's really cool to have a action adventure-ish game where you're running around, going to the mine and collecting gold and trying to like be an outlaw and rob people from stuff, or be the deputy and try to like take out the outlaws. Like there's all sorts of just different ways you can do it. Upgrading your horses and getting better guns and things like that.
You can go play poker.
Yeah, you can go play.
Try to get more
gamble
money
to try to get stuff like that. There's all sorts of different ways to do it. It really gives me.
It's saying it's supposed to be delivered in August of this year.
What? I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll necessarily happen, but I would imagine if they say August this year that it'll be out before the end of the year.
That's awesome. Yeah, we definitely have to play that when it comes in.
Yeah.
There's tons of interesting looking Euro games that are out there. This Endeavor game is the one that's the most liked on here. It's like a Age of Sail Euro game and things like that.
Oh no, man, forget that.
I mean, I'd be willing to try any Euro games that people think are really good, but it is very like maps and grids and typical Euro.
No, the next one I put down on my list after Legends was there's a game called Horizons.
Oh yeah.
That looked pretty cool to me. That looked very interesting with what you could do with that. I just like area control. I like the bright colors and the civilization and the science fiction and all that kind of stuff. But a game that we played before, and I'm thinking about picking up, is Adrenaline is coming out with a DLC pack, a team play DLC pack, which makes perfect sense because it's like basically a shooter game meets board game. And so I love that they did the DLC. And so that'll probably be one that I need to pick up. Now it's only going to be for demo, but that'd be interesting to see how that's going to come out.
I actually really like Adrenaline.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it when we played too.
Yes, I think I've done terrible every single time I've played it, but just the way it works, where you just pick up the different guns and then you're trying to collect the cubes to be able to play the different guns and trying to set up the board in the right way where you can attack like multiple people and deal damage and spread your damage around so you get extra points. It's all about, it's weird because you're like trying to area control the amount of damage you're doing to a person. It's like, oh man, he did a little bit more damage to him. Oh man, I need to go over there and finish it off. Or maybe I already have a whole bunch of damage on that person. Maybe it's not worth for me to finish it off because I know I'm going to get the max points on it. But if somebody else doesn't kill him, then I'm not going to get those points. Like it's a really interesting game in the way that it does it. And this expansion that adds in it's a 6th player, right? Yeah, there's
it's
5 in the base set, so you have a new character and just new weapons. New weapons in that game seems really awesome to me. So,
bro, did you see this game? the box looks so depressing to me, but the more I look at it, the more interested I'm interested into it. Holding On: The Troubled Life of Billy Kerr.
No.
So, long story short, guy has a heart attack, and you're a nursing staff, and you need to try to help, keep him alive, keep him around. But like his face on the picture, he's like looking off. It's just like, I'm done. Like, I don't know. To me, it's a very sad picture.
Oh.
And it's like Holding On: The Troubled Life of Billy Kerr. I was like, crap, man, this is like a deep, heavy game. This is one of those games where they're just talking about, I'm done. I'm done, Billy. I'm done. It looks kind of rough to me. But I don't know. My sister's a nurse, and she's experienced a lot of hard stuff with a lot of people in the nursing world. And so I don't know, maybe one of those things where I check it out, because it looks like it's a co-op game where everybody's working together to give Billy the appropriate care, responding to medical stuff that's going on with him, and you have to also gain his trust. And it comes with replayable scenarios. So I don't know. I'll probably pick this one up just to tell my sister about it, and she'll never play it, but I'll play it. It's one of those things where, hey, Alexis, I got this board game about nurses. She'll be like, okay, cool, you can play it by yourself. I'm like, oh, thanks.
I do nurses things all the time. Why would I want to?
Like, why would I play a game about stuff like that? You want to play a game? It's called Clean the Bedpans. Let's go. Thanks.
This Archmage game looks very interesting. I don't know if you've clicked on it or looked at it at all, but like,
did you see the Ultimate Legacy Werewolf? They're going to be demoing it there.
Yeah. What's amazing to me is that they're having Heroes of Lander and Sea for sale. He said that they've got a few copies of it or whatever, and they're going to be trying to sell it at conventions and see how much it holds out. How much do you think they're going to sell of that game?
Oh, they'll sell it out. Yeah, I don't think it'll last. Bro, do you get news from Gray Fox Games?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you get the email today where they're talking about their newest stuff?
I haven't checked that one.
So my very first Gen Con I ever went to, which was 5 years ago.
Yep.
Gray Fox Games was the owners of Run Fight or Die.
Yes.
And they suckered me in that if you bought it at Gen Con, you could get like the extra minis and stuff where you couldn't get them anywhere else, which you could get them elsewhere, but the salesman did a good job, and I was all excited with my first Gen Con. I was a kid in a candy store. But Gray Fox just sent out an email today to like their newsletter subscribers that they're going to be coming out with Run Fight or Die again. Like, nice. I guess they got the rights back.
Nice.
And so I'm really excited about that. That's a game that my wife really likes to play. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because I just saw Rising 5 by Gray Fox, which is one of those games that I'm interested to play in as well. But I'm super excited to now have Gray Fox get the rights back for Run Fight or Die, because that's a fun little dice chucking simple game. We played that and we had a blast playing that game. In fact, I was kicking you guys' butts until like you guys did something to me and I ended up losing everything and dying.
Well, it's a press your luck game. I think we like pushed you over the edge for press your luck, and you were just like, ah.
Still.
Nice.
Do you know anything about Rising 5?
Me and Trevor actually got a copy of it. I think it's a game that Gray Fox picked up that someone else was making, but they're going to be making like the English version of it or whatever. Or there was a Kickstarter, and after the Kickstarter was over, Gray Fox is going to be continuing and putting it out into stores.
Okay.
So it's an interesting game because it's completely cooperative, but you're all these different like interesting like alienish characters that are going around the little board there trying to like fight off monsters and get clues on what the runes are. And the game like Mastermind, where like you have different symbols and you're trying to like guess, and you'll like get clues of like, okay, this is in the right space, or this is not in the puzzle at all. There's all these like star constellations that you're trying to put in, and it's cool because the game uses like a phone app that you hold over the different little star constellations that you have set up in like the little grid here, and it'll like tell you, this is right, this is wrong, this is actually in the right place, this is actually used in it, but it's not in the right space. Kind of like, because one of the puzzles in Mansions of Madness is like that whole sort of thing, like, hey, do you have this symbol or that symbol? It's actually in there, it's not in there, that sort of thing. But yeah, you're trying to figure that stuff out, and you're trying to fight off these monsters because the monsters are making, I guess, like there's like a moon symbol. I'm not sure if like the moon rises, something bad happens, or if like the sun sets, something bad happens. It's something along those lines. But you're trying to configure this puzzle in the right way, and you get extra actions by going around the board and spinning different things to switch the things around, and then you can take actions to actually like submit the thing and see if it's correct and use the app to scan it. It's a very interesting game. We're just trying to do all these different things on the board and mitigate the bad things that are happening to be able to guess what that puzzle is. So it's a very interesting cooperative game.
Real quick, side note. The internet is listening to everything that we're saying, because I just got done talking about Gray Fox Games, and as soon as you started talking, I just got an email from like a LinkedIn thing saying Joshua Lubkowitz's invitation is still waiting on you to reply. And of course, he's one of the he's head of game development for Gray Fox, and so literally not even 2 minutes after I got done talking about Gray Fox,
I can't believe.
Why would LinkedIn or any other sites send me an email at 10:07 at night saying, "Don't forget about Josh at Gray Fox Games"?
Did you ever play Eclipse?
No, that was on my invitation for Roy. Ian, too soon. Too soon, Ian.
Hey, me and Josh are already friends on LinkedIn, or we're already linked on LinkedIn. I don't know how that works.
I'm friends with him on LinkedIn. It's another thing, like a remote thing or whatever it is.
Weird.
But no, I saw the second edition for Eclipse coming out. And I heard you guys say good things about Eclipse.
Yeah, Eclipse is really cool. It's like it is a 4X game along the lines of like Twilight Imperium, but it's less of the negotiation stuff and more like economic type stuff. But the really cool thing about Eclipse, and Eclipse did this first, is that you have different ship types, and you can actually build your ships with different parts kind of the way you want to. So you're taking actions to build your ships, you're taking actions to expand your empire and your space colony, but then all the while, there's like the more you expand, the more costly it is, and you're having to min-max the resources that you have and the money that you have to be able to engineer this whole colony that you're doing. So it like ramps up the economic and like and needing the correct resources to be able to build stuff. It's really cool because you're like researching technology to be able to unlock different parts for your ships and unlock different things to make your economy better and unlock different things to just like things that like let you go through wormholes and different things like that. The production on this second Dawn for the Galaxy, this is actually going to be a Kickstarter. So they're just demoing the game, and it's going to end up being a Kickstarter for this new edition. It comes with like the regular edition comes with like just boring like plastic ships that are kind of like meh, but the new edition comes with, there's a ship pack that they made for the first edition. This comes with that ship pack already added in. It comes with ships for all of the like NPC guys you find. It comes with a miniature for like there's like a central area that there's a big like space station sitting on you have to fight off. It comes with that. Before, the game was kind of interesting because you had tons of little cubes that were all over your board, and if you accidentally hit your board a little bit, it just kind of like screwed up the game.
Yeah.
And people like made these acrylic things that you could get off Etsy or whatever and be able to put on your board so stuff didn't get messed up. I actually bought those because it's almost required. This, they have game trays making all sorts of different game boards and game holders for the box, all sorts of stuff that improves like the production quality and like how grandiose the game is. And other than that, they did a lot of like little tweaks and things like that to help balance the game for this new edition and just kind of like
I may pick that up, man, since you already have like TI4, which I mean I really like TI4. I just don't think both of us need it unless like one of us were to move away. Then I'd
get actually play Eclipse pretty quickly, and it's interesting because I like thematic Euro games or Euro games that like I actually like that whole economic push and pull and figuring those things out.
Yeah.
But I also like to be able to go into combat and fight off your opponents with. I like to build up my economy and then use it for something other than just straight victory points. So it's really cool to be able to build up that economy, expand into the galaxy, and then be able to set up your ships in the correct way to beat your opponent's ships. So I don't know. It's a really cool game, and it seems like there are tweaks and stuff to the game, but it's not vastly different besides the way that the game looks. It's complete graphical overhaul and stuff like that.
Okay.
I think you'd even like playing the version that I have, because I have the original version of it or whatever, and it's a lot of fun. But you know, it's fun. I think Matt actually liked playing it a lot too. It's quicker. It's
he did talk about how he liked it and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot quicker than Twilight Imperium. It doesn't have a lot of the diplomatic and passing laws and things like that, but you can have alliances and like work together in it, which is kind of cool too. So,
well, it's like the time and stuff doesn't bother me if I'm enjoying the game.
Right.
And the only reason that one day Rising Sun bothered me is because like I had to go, and we weren't playing. Like we'd spent so much time just sitting there waiting for somebody to make a decision. Yeah. Like if it's a 4 to 4+ hour long game, but like you're constantly doing something, I love it. I love it because I'm engaged. But if it's a 4+ hour game and I'm spending an hour plus of that time or 2 hours of that time just looking at other people making decisions, I just want to flip the table.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see Franchise?
I don't know if it's see it now
in me or whatnot, but that's another game that looks really good. Where you are basically in the early 60s and you are trying to start a business. Mm-hmm. Is that one of those? Mm-hmm. Is that? Mm-hmm. Hey Rob, you tell me how it is. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what that is.
Not nice. Next.
No. Let's see, what do we got? It's got area control, route building, and network building, but it is definitely an economic game.
Yeah, but I like the theme of it. Like you start a small business, whether it's like cars or food or clothing or something like that, because not everybody. Like a game like this, I could see my wife enjoying. She gets to build her business however she wants to build it and move forward and see who has the most success or not. That's one of the things I'm trying to do. Like the more and more we do with like board game content, I'm trying to diversify more of my collection to not be all about blowing stuff up.
And for me, it's all about that complexity. Because I'll play the game regardless and try it out, but like if it's like super heavy, I'd be like, But if it's like a quick, fast game,
I think this is one of those games that I will watch several reviews on it and stuff like that, and I want to see people that I know I either like their reviews or I don't like their like. If Z's like, oh, I absolutely love this game. This is the best game ever. I'm probably not going to play this game. But if Sam's like, hey, I tried Franchise and it's not that bad. I really enjoyed Franchise. Mm-hmm. And some of the other personalities out there, I may give it a shot. But anyway, just the concept of it looks really good. It's a pretty looking game.
Nice. Man, I wish the Sovereign Skies game had more information. Honestly, anything that it's political science fiction space exploration. Honestly, you just say space exploration in a game, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it.
Right. Well, see, I'm the same way about medieval stuff. Yeah. Like this Rurik, Dawn of Kiev. To me, I'm like, okay, done. Medieval, castles, knights, okay. Like, I don't even need the dragons and the wizards like you. I just, like, Thief, to me, awesome. I absolutely loved it. Not a single magical spell at all. The only magic going on in Thief when I played was Mariel's sexy body as I strutted around the map, destroying everybody in my wake.
Getting married to all the players? I see how it is.
Well, actually, she never got married.
Oh, you married off other people?
Yeah, I married off other people because the first 2 rounds, nobody would marry my character because it was like too early in the game.
Oh, gotcha.
And you don't really need alliances that early. But I was like, I got kind of jaded. Like, I'm the only maiden available and you're not going to marry me? Okay, fine. So in the future, when they're like, hey, will you marry me? I was like, nope. I'm sick. I'm Beyonce. You guys leave me alone.
I tried to give you my love. Hey, so what do you think about Access and Allies and Zombies? Have you heard of this?
It's on a must-buy list for me. I put it on my list. I will buy it, even if it's the dumbest game ever. I love Axis and Allies. I already own like 3 versions of it. Yeah, I'm really excited for X's and Allies and Zombies.
I wonder if the zombies are NPCs or...
Well, see, there was a really cool, and I know you're about to hold this against me, the Walking Dead Risk, the Walking Dead Risk game, the one based off of the comic book. Mm-hmm. So it was Risk. Everybody had their little area and their little colors. Yeah. But if your characters or your army died, they became walkers.
Oh,
and
gotcha, that's crazy.
The person to the left controlled the walkers if you ever had to fight walkers. And they had their own deck of cards. So after your turn, you would draw a card, and it would tell them where to move or what to do and whatnot and stuff like that. And so I kind of hope X's and Allies takes a page out of that book, because in that way, I think it's kind of fair, where you're basically just rolling for the zombies, their dice, but they're already programmed on what to do and stuff like that. And it makes it very annoying, because then you kill off somebody else's army, and then you have to fight another army of zombies.
Yeah.
And as the zombies kill off your army, they get more zombies. And so it's like you got to do everything twice.
That's crazy. Speaking of Risk, I forgot to mention. For some reason, it slipped my mind, but I played the Star Wars Risk. Have you played that one yet, Rob?
No, not the one that's like with the
Queen's Gambit. It's literally like Queen's Gambit Light. Like the mechanics are pretty much the same. Like you have these cards with two different sides, and it's very asymmetrical.
I own
what
it.
you're trying to do. I think you'd really like it, and it's quicker than Queen's Gambit, and I think it's really easy to get to the table. Like you can just play that thing. Like literally, you throw it out and just play it. It's super simple. You have just different aspects of the game you're trying to push for, because you played Queen's Gambit once, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
so
one of those.
It's like, what front are you going to try to do? Are you going to try to do the battle with Luke and Darth Vader, or are you going to try to go over here and push on Endor, trying to take the shield down? Or if you're the Empire, you're going to send more stormtroopers to the shield to try to stop them? Or you're going to try to fly your ships around to protect the Death Star that's still being constructed and things like that?
How long did it take you to play?
Dude, it took us like, after we had it set up in Rules Explanation, it was like 30 minutes.
We should play.
I'd play it. It's super simple. Honestly,
Did you enjoy it?
I know this might be bad, but I think I personally like it more than Queen's Gambit.
Really?
I mean, Queen's Gambit was
I don't
okay,
think that's bad.
But I feel like Queen's Gambit's a little bit longer, and there's a little bit more crazy stuff on it. It's very similar. So honestly, all those people out there that are like, man, I don't want to spend $200 on Queen's Gambit, just buy this. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get it for like $15. Like,
I want Queen's Gambit rethemed with a Matrix theme on it anyway.
That would be cool.
I'm still all over that idea.
We could literally just do that. Like, we could design that.
Totally. Right?
Those mechanics are easy. The problem is,
hey, Isaac owes me a favor now, so
the problem is actually getting somebody to get the license for it and actually making it happen.
yeah.
But
well,
yeah,
and then I'll text them and they'll be like, "Oh, Rob," and I'm like, "Yes," and they'll really mean Rob Davio. I'm like, "Ah, screw you."
What was I gonna say? We were playing, and I was focusing really heavily on the Endor to get the shield down, because the point of the game as the Rebel is you have to destroy the Death Star. Basically, the point of the game as the Empire is you have to blow up all their ships. It's kind of interesting because when you do things on different parts of the board, you get bonus actions. So you just get to take a whole bunch more actions. So if like he kills Luke, he gets a whole bunch more actions. Or if I kill off Darth Vader, I get a bunch more actions. If I convert Darth Vader to the light side, I get a ton of actions. So it was kind of fun because I was pushing really heavy on this, and he wasn't protecting as much. So then it forced him to like protect with stormtroopers over there, and he was like wrecking Luke a lot with Darth Vader. And then he was expecting me to continue pushing on Endor, so he kind of like put some stuff to kind of stop that. But I just like hammered down on Darth Vader and kind of like switched gears and ended up killing Darth Vader, even though I really wanted to convert him. I ended up killing him. But you got to do what you got to do. I got a bunch of actions, and then the Emperor killed Luke. So Darth Vader and Luke both died. But then it just came down. I took down the shields. It just came down to this massive battle in the middle trying to take out the Death Star. He was trying to take out all my ships. I was trying to get in there and take out the Death Star. And I ended up sneaking in some B-Wings in there and getting the job done. Because you like have to roll a 6. So I get beside him. Roll, gotta get a 6. And made it happen. So, but he took out. I mean, it was one of those things where I have a couple squads of ships left. If these ships don't get in there, I'm just going to lose. I ended up sneaking by some TIE fighters and making it happen. It was actually really epic for the amount of time that it played and like how easy it was.
Well, that's fantastic.
It's a super simple game. It's Risk in the fact that you're just chucking D6s to blow up other things. But
yeah,
it was fun. It's definitely, I recommend
There's nothing wrong with sometimes just chucking dice to play a game.
Yeah. I definitely recommend it. It seems pretty good.
Well, do we want to go ahead and like each list a couple more games, and then I think we can get maybe a better list, because I know a lot of these games are like demoing at Origins, but then we can come up with like a more concrete list before Gen Con.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's going
Because
to be
I may try
so
to join
many.
you guys at Gen Con for like a day or so. I don't know.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, and so I may have to like crash in
Dude,
somebody's
let
floor
me
or something.
know. We have some patrons that want to play or are signed up to play games at Gen Con, and if you could, I guess, if you could be there for a night, that would be amazing. Because there are people that want to play games with us.
If you can get me like a floor to sleep on.
Yeah, I know Trevor and them are going to make that happen. If I was allowed to, I'd try to sneak you in my room. I don't know how that works. Maybe I could just be like, hey, Rob's going to be here.
See
for the
who
night.
your
This will be
roommate
fun."
is, because if it's like Mark, he won't have a problem.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I have to figure that all out. You know, that's always super last minute on like, you're with this person. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, just try to get with Mark again, because weren't you with Mark last year?
I was actually with Dave Luza, so
Okay.
we'll see. There might be floors full of people already, but Tom doesn't normally try to do that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. That'd be awesome.
Tell Tom I'll give him a good hug if he lets me just one night.
just one night, man. Just one night. Cool.
Sorry. So how about you name off a couple more?
I don't know what much more I want on here. I mean, I just want to say the main ones I'm excited about. I mean, it's still just mostly demos.
Yeah, mine's mostly demos too.
But it's that Western Legends. I'd love to learn. I want to learn more, but I don't want to learn more about Ultimate Werewolf Legacy. What do you think about if I just plan a game day in October and try to make Ultimate Werewolf Legacy just happen, like as much of it as possible? Like I'm make an event, invite a bunch of people over, and it's just like we're gonna play Ultimate Werewolf Legacy as much as we possibly can and try to get through as much of it as we can. Would that be awesome?
I don't think that's a bad idea.
I'm like Halloween time. I'm hoping they have it out where they have to have it out where you can get it before Halloween time. If I could get a hold of it like at Gen Con, I would and just plan that date and be like, it's Halloween time. We're gonna play through the whole thing. I might just put that on the schedule.
That might be like a cabin trip.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. But I don't know how many people would be able to get there. So I don't know.
We'll see.
Because it plays up to like 15. Oh, it plays up to 16. I guess 15 players, and probably the 16th is the moderator. Also, I'm very interested in learning how if the moderator always has to be the moderator, or if the moderator gets to get in the mix and you switch up moderators.
That would be nice.
Yeah. What about you, man? What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about? Hold on one second. I'm most excited about a lot of these games.
Oh, yeah.
But to add, like, I'm also excited for the Dinosaur Island expansions. I know that they're only demoing them there. That was a game that I enjoyed and had a lot of fun with. I'm excited for the Mind and Horizons and stuff like that. Lucidity. I know Liz, one of our patrons. I believe she backed that on Kickstarter.
Oh yeah.
Because I've seen pictures of that on her Instagram page. Miss Liz, that looks kind of cool. Terror of London looks really pretty cool to me. That's something that aesthetically wise that has my attention.
Whoa.
Are you looking at it now?
No, I'm looking at Lucidity.
Yeah, Lucidity looks weird.
Imprisonment or Nightmare of Imprisonment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like some creepy stuff. It's pretty cool.
The Big Score, that also looks pretty cute. You know, it's a card drafting, hand management card game, stuff like that, or I guess you're bank robbers or something. Dark Domain. In Between also looks pretty cool to me. I'm excited for that game. So there are a bunch of these games that I'm excited about, but I think I'll be more excited about these games after Origins, because I think a lot of people are going to finally get a chance to play them and then be able to bring them together. But I'm also really excited for Funky Chicken. Like I absolutely love Happy Salmon, and I play that game a lot.
Is it very similar to Happy Salmon, just with different moves?
Yeah.
No.
It's the same company. It's North Star Games.
Well, I mean, I got that, but I was just wondering if there are any significant rule changes.
No. I think it's the same thing, just different moves. And I'm totally okay with that. Like I'll still buy it. It's going to be under $20. I'll still buy it, just because. I don't know, for some reason, like that stuff just.
Oh, nice. I love it. This is more of like, because, Happy Salmon's all about like hand motions.
Yeah.
This one is like you have to pair up with a person and do like hip bumps, or you have to do the funky chicken, which is I guess where you flap your arms, or you have to do a swing where you have to like interlock your arms and spin around. This will be one where you play not around a table probably and play like standing in front of each other. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think the last one also, because I just played FIFA, A War of Whispers, which is a betting, wagering, medieval political style game. I'm really excited just to check it out. It looks beautiful. At least the box does. But it's one of those things where I don't know. I had so much fun with FIFA. That I'd look at this, I'd see what all it entailed and stuff like that. It's only going to be there for a demo, but it also doesn't look like it's a long game. They're saying only 30 to 60 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so like a betting, wagering, medieval, political, type of game that's under an hour. Yeah, you definitely have my attention.
Nice.
With stuff like that. So, but this is one of those, I think we need to come back and have like our list for like Gen Con. Like, all right, if you're at the door and you're running to something, what would you run to? Type of a thing.
Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea.
You don't need to run to that, bro. Those boys love you.
No, I was about to say I already have the game, but mine is.
If
butter
any of them
flavored.
had kids, their either first or middle name would be Roy. Bro, Gamelin Games loves you, and that's not a bad thing, but they love you. Oh, one last in between. Yes, and it's gonna be for sale. I'm looking forward to In Between just because of the Stranger Things theme.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it plays out. I haven't seen any demos on it. I think somebody did demo it or played it a long time ago, but
I know Sam has like a video up for it or whatever. So
yeah, but that's something that I love the upside down and stuff like that. And I know they can't say that, but yeah, the In Between that'll be one that I hold on to.
Speaking of Gamelin Games, Nate actually, when it was my birthday last month or whatever, sent me a video like with the armor, like happy birthday, Roy. So you're not too far off.
Yeah, no, they love you. And hey, like I said, that's not a terrible thing. I don't think the detective game from Portal Games is being released just yet.
Dude,
Jeremy.
I'm really interested in that.
I am, but I'm not going to buy it right away just because of First Martian. And I know that's really
sad.
dumb.
Yeah.
I want to see how it plays. I really want to see how it plays. Prowler's Passage from Renegade. I have not seen anything on that. Have you, Roy?
No, I guess it's not on the list
Prowler's
here.
Passage. Let me search for it real quick and see. It's crazy. Like, what was it last year? 1,600 games came out last year. There's always games and stuff coming out. Prowler's Passage.
Oh, yeah, it was on the list. I was actually looking at this one. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The map looks crazy.
Whoa.
It's like
that does look cool.
These weird buildings in like weird shapes. I'm definitely always
interested. And it doesn't look to be long or anything like that either.
Honestly, I'm always interested in stuff from Renegade just because like their games are always solid, even if they're not like my favorite kind of
control,
game. I always know the game
set
is going to be
collection,
good.
medieval.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't like this game. Bro, thank you so much for the tip.
Prowler's Passage. We knew chat was good for something.
Everybody. Jeff Glasgow. Boom.
Awesome, guys. Well,
man,
it has been fun.
This was fun.
Let us know what games you guys are looking most forward to. I know there's probably going to be tons of announcements. We're just starting to get into the con season, and with Origins, and then we're going to Dice Tower Con, and then Gen Cons after that, and then Essen after that. There's going to be so many amazing games that are going to come out this year. So, like, not even half of the games that are coming out this year have even been announced yet. That's the insane thing. So lots of stuff to look forward to. So definitely let us know which games you guys are most excited about, and we'll try to see what more info we can get about them as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun. We stream these Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. at youtube.com/Epic Gaming Night. Make sure to check us out on our Twitter and Instagram at Epic Gaming Night, and Rob at Writing Newman.
Boom.
We definitely want to say thank you to all of our amazing patrons who help support the podcast. If you want to check us out at patreon.com/Epic Gaming Night, make sure to hit us up there, help support the show. And if you're at any of these conventions, make sure to hit us up, and we definitely want to play a game with you. Like, if you're a patron and you're going to Dice Tower Con, hit us up because we have to play a game with you. I was just looking at my schedule for Dice Tower Con, and I have that Twilight Imperium 4 game that's scheduled, but like, there's just going to be just so much time for open gaming. It's going to be awesome. It's literally just like, oh, I literally just have days there. Like, literally days. It's like,
oh, Dice Tower Con?
yeah, it's like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing Friday? I mean, I might go to a thing at night. Holy crap, like, I just have the whole day to just play whatever games I want. That is so awesome. What am I doing Wednesday? Oh, just playing games. Thursday, I'm probably going to be playing Twilight Imperium Wednesday, but it's going to be awesome.
If you are at Origins and you see Isaac Vega, give him a hug for me and just tell him this is from Robert Newman at Epic Gaming Night. You'll understand. You'll understand. If you listen to the show, you'll know why I'm asking you to do this.
Yeah. Everybody, make sure to tell
Isaac. Happy huggy. He's a good hugger. He is a good hugger.
He is a good hugger. That's awesome, guys. Well, thanks everybody, and thanks so much for chat. You guys are awesome, and I guess we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes, we will see you guys next week. Oh, and next week I'll probably be doing it from my phone because I'll be in Florida. Yay!
Wait, you're going to Florida again next week too?
Yeah, it's like the only time I'm gonna get to like see my dad with my girls, and so I guess he needs to see his grandkids. So we're leaving on Sunday, and we're coming back Wednesday morning.
Cool. Well, we'll see you guys. Thanks so much. Peace.
Love you.